Hey, this is Taylor.
This is Jaime.
And this is the How We Got Here podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, this is Taylor.
This is Jaime.
And you're listening to
The How We Got Here podcast. One day we'll get it right.
One day.
So today we are here with Andrew from the Olana venue. He's an employee with Walter's Wedding Estates, and he's super kind to be with us. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
So far, so good. We're at the Olana, so we're good.
It's a fun place to be.
Yes, for sure. So we're super excited to be with you guys, and we thank you guys for giving us a chance. And one of the first questions that I want to ask is, who used to own this place?
Yeah, so the original owner, their last name was Goldfield, and he primarily, his company developed the SIM card for cell phones.
Nice.
So that'll give you, a couple bucks from like
Right.
everyone alive, basically. So a good way to make some money. And so he built this, I guess, over about 6 or 7 years. And it opened in 2001. And as far as I understand, they did not live here for very long. And we are the third owner. So we just got it last year. So up until then, it was a residence. So a lot of what we've done is just turn it into a wedding venue from a place that 2 or 3 people lived.
Right.
Wow.
So who were the second owners?
I don't know too much about the second owners. The original owner kind of did some just publicity. They were kind of private with the second owner. So I don't really, unfortunately, know too much information.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, not very much changed in during that ownership in terms of looks or anything here.
So I'm wondering, was it like a family of 50? I mean, what do
No,
you need
it
all
was
this
2
space
people.
for?
2 people, as far as I know, who I guess probably didn't go to the certain rooms for, a couple months at a time.
Right,
I don't know how you'd get everywhere here. It's, but yeah.
It's a workout.
2 people, I'm assuming, also had family over quite a bit. But yeah, they had like adult kids and everything when they built it. So.
Wow. Yeah, this place is absolutely stunning. Like, as soon as you make that right turn, depending on where you're coming, as soon as you turn into the venue, it's just like, wow.
Yeah,
Like,
when they asked me to work here, because I worked on one of our other venues before, I had never seen it, but I was like, yeah, it sounds really cool. And then the first time I came over to see it, I was pretty blown away. I was like, Mom, Dad, I got a mansion. Like,
I got a mansion.
I don't own it. I work there, but
I got a mansion.
But I'm here
So-
more than you are at home, right?
Pretty
Most
much.
people are at work more than they are home. So this is pretty much your second home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm here like most of my life. It feels like
Most of your life.
it's just not a bad thing.
So
But
the building itself, or like the architecture, the structure, everything, it reminds me of something that I would see in France.
yeah, as far as I know, and there's not a lot of details, but the original owners kind of traveled to, Versailles, I think, is the most evident one when you look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just kind of went and got ideas. A lot of the furniture is from all over. And we did get the house furnished. So a lot of that's just randomly pieced from them, like traveling,
Wow.
grabbing stuff as they, went throughout the world. So it really gives us like an international feel. Everyone kind of says that they walk throughout and then there's cows out front when they're leaving, just to like make
Right.
sure you remember you're in Texas.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think it does kind of feel otherworldly here.
It does. It doesn't
So-
seem like a wedding venue either. It
Yeah,
seems
it does not. It just,
you're pulling up to a mansion pretty much.
Yeah.
And you would never imagine a wedding would be here. It's almost like you're at some type of celebrity home, right?
Yeah.
And you're at their party. It just doesn't seem real.
Yeah, no, I think that's what makes it such a cool venue is because there's a lot of like quirks and just interesting things with the venue because it was built as a house. They're like, oh, we might not have built this if we were building this from the ground up as a venue.
Right.
But it leaves us with really cool, unique features that
absolutely.
kind of help set us apart. And
So did you guys add on to
a little
the
bit,
venue?
a little
Okay.
bit. So the most of the work we did was in the groom suite, which features a bowling alley, which is really fun compared to,
Right.
Wow.
a lot of
Just a
groom's
bowling alley,
closets we see. But
bowling alley in the groom suite, no big deal.
So
Right.
yeah, that room, well, it had a bowling alley, was like really plain, just not very dressed up like the rest of the house. So we really gave it like a super masculine touch, and there's a lot of really cool pictures hanging up down there. We did like a kind of Americana wall that I really like.
I love that wall.
Shout out to our designer, and not me. I can't do any of that stuff. And then the main thing we did was add the solarium, which is our reception hall. Had this little outdoor space that we expanded so we could have, 275 is our max, as opposed to what 100 we probably could have fit in there without that. So
that's incredible. How many stories is the Olana? Like, is it?
It is. So there's 3 full stories plus a basement plus a little lookout up on top. So the little dome you see when you're driving in.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
You walk up the stairs, but that is,
And are like
that's the only thing on that
Are
floor.
brides able to like access that for like pictures or anything?
Not really.
No, not really.
It's pretty darn high up. So just as kind of a safety thing.
I mean, not that they'd want to go up there, but I'm just,
it's a small area, but we keep them safe.
It's quite a liability right there.
So walk me through this.
Sure.
Somebody comes, they're interested to get married here. I'm assuming they get some type of a tour. Is that right?
Yeah. They pretty much come in and see me, or there's also a girl named Alex who works here. And we'll show you guys around and kind of just walk you through everything, help people envision what, turn what they're thinking into what that looks like on paper for them. And we just kind of work that out. And then, they get to decide from there kind of on dates, catering options, bar, all that stuff. And then just if they decide to go for it, we're always there to help them. And definitely, it's a lot of fun. I feel like we get to know a lot of these people just come in for wedding and you end up being like kind of a big part of their day, which I never expected when I started working here. You get a lot of thank yous and hugs and stuff at the end, which feels, pretty gratifying because it's like, it's not what I'm thinking of. I'm just like, got to make sure everything gets ordered, got to make sure everything gets there on time. So it's cool to step back at the end for a lot of those and see what we were able to do. So
because you're a part of the most important day of their life. One of the most important days of their life.
I was gonna say,
you get to be a piece of that.
Pretty important.
I said one of the.
it's up there.
Kids are the marriage is more important than the kids.
Well, I always wonder too if like they remember me or if like 10 years on they're like looking at their photos and they're like, who's that?
I'm pretty sure they're like, who's that?
Yeah, that's fine. I have a terrible memory, so I think that's what I assumed.
Why is that guy in all our pictures? Like, get him out of there. Photoshop him out of there.
No, I'm a ninja of like slipping out of someone's photos. If I see a camera, I like run the other direction behind the pillar.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
And if they book with you guys, like, is there packages for linen, or is all that you guys give them the resources to find all that they need?
It's pretty much like the main thing we focus on is getting you your venue,
right?
Where you can spend all the time, and bar and catering. Those are the big 3 things. We do provide like linens and tables and chairs and stuff. But then from there, it kind of gives them that like base of those big 3 things, which is a lot of what you worry about. Right. It's probably most of what people spend the money on. But then they can go from there and kind of find their people that do the more detail oriented stuff. The stuff that's, I feel, a little more taste based. So.
Right.
Now, this place is bigger than any wedding venue I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, whenever it's their wedding day, when do they get access to the place, and do they have run of the whole house pretty much?
Yeah. So we have a couple different length venues, but generally it's like an all day kind of deal.
Cool.
So they get in pretty early, and they, a lot of times do their hair and makeup here and roam around. Like I'll just be walking around doing setup and I'll see like 2 random bridesmaids and just like in like our storage area. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, we got lost. We put up signs and try and, keep them in the right areas. But I think a big draw of coming here is just seeing and exploring. And, I don't think a lot of people have been in a place like this necessarily. So no.
The draw for me is the pool.
Yeah.
The pool room. Like
the inside.
I feel like I would be here at 8 a.m. in the parking lot. Even on my wedding day. No, on my wedding day, like 8 a.m. in the parking lot. Like, hey, Andrew, go ahead and open the pool room for me, please. And I'll jump right in the pool.
Yeah, no,
and I'll be there all day.
It's definitely, I think some people are scared of it because of like the whole hair and makeup deal.
Right.
But I think a lot of people do the kind of neck down kind of deal.
Yeah, I'd be like waterproof all this so I can live my best life.
It's funny, we have people who like, that's our immediate reaction, but a lot of people are like, oh, that's like, I want to be in there. So with that in the bowling alley, we get a lot of people asking like, can we switch suites?
That's
wow.
hilarious.
We girls want to bowl. We guys want to swim. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool
I don't
too.
even
Yeah.
think I've seen the room with the bowling alley, and we were here like about a month and a half ago.
Right. Well, we didn't do anything in there because it's the walls like black or like a dark gray.
Right,
Is it
right.
black or gray?
yeah, like a dark gray kind of.
And
Yeah.
so the lighting isn't the best for photos in there. But I mean, you can get some cool like dark and moody photos in there.
Right,
Though.
yeah.
Like that'd be pretty
Good for like a whiskey commercial kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but they have a basketball court, right?
Yeah, there's a
And-
basketball court down there as well.
And the bowling alley.
And that's indoor.
Indoor.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to take a look at that later.
The grooms, I'm sure, like my husband would love that because he loves to play basketball. I'm sure he would love to be playing
Yeah,
basketball.
I like heavily push for that. Like anytime
Right.
they ask, I'm from Indiana, which
Mm-hmm.
is like, I don't know if you guys know, but that's like basketball world. Like the
Right.
way the way high school and college football is here.
It's
Right,
houses
yeah,
there.
we're football towns
So
here.
yeah, I saw the racquetball court and I was like, we don't need that. We need a basketball court, and I'll be down here every morning before work, which I haven't actually done, but
Right.
thought I was gonna.
I like the idea of it.
Is there
nice.
a gym? Is there a gym? I'm not
So the
aware?
gym's my office.
Okay.
Where my office is now used to be like a bunch of workout equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have that anymore. We got rid of that.
Right.
But yeah, there's like mirrors in there, like
Mm-hmm.
for doing like stretching and stuff, which I don't need the mirrors in there. But yeah, another one of those just like weird quirks that make it kind of fun.
Right.
Andrew's in there just like flexing.
I know,
9 to
right?
5, like,
He's in the basketball court.
that basketball workout was nice.
nobody can find him.
I don't know about that.
Next time I'm calling, I'm gonna be like, "Can you check the basketball room for Andrew,
If you
please?"
phone, if you don't get an answer, it's because I'm playing basketball. No.
Right, or in the
No,
pool,
no.
in the
If
pool
my,
or the
if my
sauna.
bosses are listening, I'm very much on my computer the whole day.
Tomorrow he's gonna have like a security camera set up in his office.
No, it'll be in the basketball court. It'll be in the basketball court. There'll be an alarm that goes off. So let me ask you this: can the bride spend the night, or the bride and groom, can they spend the night here?
No. So there is not any sort of like on-site kind of thing where we can have people stay. But
Is there a suggestion box?
yeah, just email us.
I would
but-
like to stay the night.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's something we'd definitely like maybe down the road. And
A bride and groom suite for them to stay the night would be so awesome.
yeah, no, it'd be great. It's just the things I never thought about,
Right.
with like, cause I just like I worked theaters before this and I worked wedding venues now. There's like a whole different set of like licensing and
Right.
like all that kind of stuff
Right.
with like overnight. It's like a whole nother beast.
Yeah,
So
that makes it a bit more difficult to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your favorite room?
my favorite room, well, the groom suite's pretty cool. As we
The basketball
established
court.
the basketball court, the bowling alley, really cool place. But I also really like the library. It's kind of when you first walk in, it's just like that really cool old kind of like dark wood library books, which we actually purchased.
Nice.
We like, there's like services I didn't even know this exists where like they curate and you're like, we need like 500 old books from like the 1800s, and they
Wow.
just like are like, okay, here they are.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that was cool, and yeah, that
great.
room is just like it's got that perfect feel of like
Man.
old time, like want to have a cigar in there kind of thing,
Right.
which you can't do.
Which you can do. Okay,
Darn
no
it.
cigars. Dang it. What about I'm sure most women are like the closet.
The Chanel closet.
Yeah, the Chanel closet,
Definitely
that's-
a big draw. And yeah, like I said, more for the brides than maybe for me.
Right.
But huge draw, absolutely. The movie theater is also like fantastic.
Oh yes, I forgot about the movie theater.
Basically, like they went to like an old theater in Europe from like 1700s, and we're like,
I don't even think I've seen the theater yet, and I've already been
super
here
nice.
twice. That's
yeah, it's just
It's
like
pretty cool.
we want that experience, but we can watch like Die Hard in it or the
Right.
Super Bowl.
Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie. So
Yeah.
Christmas
Has anybody
is
used it? Like before
Yeah.
the wedding, they'll just sit up there and watch
Yeah,
movies?
I know we have like people. I think it got used for like, I think it was this year, got used for like the Red River Shootout.
Mm-hmm.
So people, a lot of like if they're big college football fans, come in and watch the game before the
Nice.
wedding.
Wow.
That
That's
was
great.
a pretty creative use, and I'm always, when I'm in there, I'm like, this is where I need to watch the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's like my natural reaction to it.
Can you rent an individual room out now?
Right.
I mean, no one's done that, but we've like played around with that idea for sure.
Oh, wow. So do you guys have anything new y'all are working on, or anything you could hint at on anything that y'all are?
I mean, I'll put it this way. I definitely don't make those decisions. And like I said, when we bought this, I was surprised that this is a surprise to me.
Right.
It was like, we bought what? I get to work there?
That's super
So
cool.
I think it's, our owner definitely always has like an eye on growing and looking at other venues and stuff like that. So I don't know what's coming, but I know we always kind of keep an eye out for cool stuff. So
Wow.
I am curious, like, who is Walter's Wedding Estates and how did they get started?
yeah, so Keith Walters was the guy who founded the company, but also he still runs the company. Really nice guy.
Is he from Texas?
He's from Texas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, him and his wife are always proud to say they're like, he's from right by here. They went to UNT, so they're like, they're from like not only here but like this
Local.
area. But yeah, they started with Wildwood, one of our other venues.
Wildwood. I know that one. Yeah.
So they started with Wildwood. It's kind of grown from there. But it's funny because he's like, the CEO of this big company now, but if he got married at Wildwood in like 2007, he was like making your breakfast and like
Wow.
his wife was your coordinator, and now they they run the company. So they really have been there from like every step, which I think is pretty cool.
Right.
So they're pretty familiar with weddings in general. It's not just
It's not just
like a
this
business
thing.
like just to run. Like they actually started from the bottom.
And I believe they got married there as well. Like,
oh wow,
that was kind of how they found out about the venue prior to them owning it.
Is Walter's Texas only?
Yes, yeah. We have venues in DFW mostly, but then we have some down near like Austin and San Antonio area, Hill Country.
Wow.
So like there's one in Georgetown, New Braunfels, Bernie, and the name of the city is escaping me, but Hidden Falls is there, and it's our biggest, coolest property. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but
Hidden Falls? Oh,
it's like
okay.
aside from this,
Hidden
our
Falls.
biggest
I feel
property.
like I've been there before.
So yeah,
Hidden Falls.
it's a really pretty venue. Like it's got, as the name mentions, some waterfalls, really cool backdrops. So it kind of gives you like a different feel from here, like a very different feel, but both really cool things. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about a lot of our venues is they're just like all different styles. Like we have something for you.
It's not like a cookie cutter venue that's, they just the same blueprint. They have like 9 of them.
Yeah. If you don't like this one, you can go look at this one, which is totally different style. And like,
that's
one
cool.
of these is probably going to be able to
there
fit your
are,
vision.
I don't want to mention any names, but there are a few venues that just like, this is the style, this is the blueprint.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just make 8 of them in the DFW. Like,
Right.
We got a lot of like the like rectangle barn kind of thing for sure, which are also good venues, but yeah.
Not as good as this one though.
All right, this is.
I mean, I have a favorite, obviously. So.
Is it this one?
Of course, yeah.
On the record, this is your
the record.
favorite.
Yeah,
this
if
is
I
my
had
favorite.
someone to marry, it'd be
It
hard
would
to
be
say no to
here.
here. So.
So if I could do it all over again and get married, I think I would get married in this room.
Okay.
It would just kind of, be hard because there's not as much space.
Sure.
But who cares? Just have the important people in here.
Yeah.
And then after, everybody come for a big old party.
Yeah.
Only about 20 people show up for the ceremony anyway, so
Right,
it wouldn't be.
I
What time's the reception?
That's the funny thing. Like, I think the whole deal is that you're getting married, and the ceremony is like, I think people think their ceremonies are longer than they are. I'm sure you guys agree. But it's like, 10 minutes. Okay, we're done. Like,
Right. And it's the thing you've been planning for forever.
Yeah.
And then you have that little 10 minutes and it's like, okay.
I've,
then you're
Well,
partying.
unless it's a Catholic wedding, because then you're looking at about an hour. And
Well, I'm Catholic and we didn't do a Catholic wedding.
Oh,
So
really?
No, because we got married on site and most priests won't travel.
right,
so
right.
so there's that.
I don't do like the coordination now, but I used to, and sending people down the aisle and all. And I remember one time I like went back to check on the caterer, and then I heard like the exit music, and it had been like 6 minutes. I just like sprinted across the venue so I could tell them where to go. But yeah,
That's funny.
cracks me up.
It's hilarious. It's like, oh wait, that's it.
That you guys are done? Okay.
We gotta go.
What has been like the most lavish, craziest wedding that you've seen here?
Yeah,
Great
we
Gatsby wedding type.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
that was my idea for a Halloween costume.
Oh,
You
that's
should.
so
You should. That
great.
would have been so
Gatsby.
awesome here.
Yeah, no, I think I was off on Halloween, but I was like, I have this whenever I need it. But
All right.
so we had a pretty big wedding where they did like a tent out front. They did a
Nice.
lot of custom builds for just like, floral arbors, all this cool stuff. But they did dinner in the tent, ceremony in one room, reception in another. And just like the flowers were over the top, like fantastic. Like everything looked great. I was like, I don't think the venue will ever be this dressed up. So
Right.
someone can come prove them wrong, but it was cool, and I think it highlights one of the like coolest things about here.
Right.
Where you can just like roam around and you can do everything in a different space. You can come do like, I think a lot of people do the first look in the room we're sitting in right now,
This is a beautiful room for that.
and then they'll go, do the ceremony, go back there for the reception, and then they'll cut the cake in the front room where we do cocktail hour. So there's like a little stage up there, and I think that's fun for guests to kind of just see a
Right.
lot of
Just
different things and
walk
not feel like
around
they're in
yeah.
a warehouse for 2 hours.
This is definitely
So-
a 1% home.
Right.
This is a top 1% home, guys. It's just,
yeah.
And what about the guests? Like, have you ever had a guest just randomly bring their swimsuit and all of a sudden in the middle of the just swimming?
No, I have not. I definitely have a fear of like a guest who has had something to drink, just like jumping in their clothes.
yeah.
Like hasn't happened yet, but I'm like,
Right.
It's probably one of the
it's
things
gonna
you're
happen
looking for,
at some
right?
point. I feel like, and I'm scared for that day.
I'd probably
But-
lock that door.
I'll be that guest.
We do lock that.
It'll be Jaime.
Hold on, he's
Like,
not even a guest. He's the videographer. What is he doing in the pool?
Just getting really good shots from a
Right,
different perspective.
underwater. Yeah, for the gram.
No, but we do lock the pool. But we also have an outdoor pool, which the one that's
Oh,
the one.
wow.
Oh, right.
That's the one I'm more
yes.
concerned with. Someone just
It's so
Diving
crazy,
in.
man. I was here for like 6 hours and I
didn't
didn't
see
even
it.
fully explore this place. That's
Yeah, well, so I've been here almost a year exactly, since we like first got this, and we renovated for a while, but I feel like it took me 4 or 5 months to go to every single room and like have seen every part of the venue.
Well, not
'Cause
really,
it's so
because
big.
before the podcast started, he was like, "Wait, those are mirrors? I've never seen those mirrors."
Yeah, there's like right over there. The rest of the room is windows, and I didn't realize because they're meant to like not be noticed, but
Right.
Right.
yeah, no, it's a good example. I'm still just like,
I just realized that
There's
too.
little
That's
details
funny.
everywhere.
Yeah, I
You're
never
like-
noticed that, and we were in this room
Right.
for, it's crazy.
yeah, no, I guess that's the point. Good job on the designers end.
Yeah, they
Right.
did great, man. This place is it's absolutely stunning. It really is.
I know. When you guys are ready to sell it,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm saving for it.
Okay,
so.
we'll
Do you
give you
guys
that.
take payments?
yeah, can I make
it's
a
like,
payment plan?
150-year lease. It's the only way I would be able to afford this.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, 500-year lease. My grandkids will be continuing to pay for it.
I might as well start paying now then, right? Just
So yeah,
start paying it off.
or invent, the SIM
The SIM
card,
card.
2.0.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
there you go.
We should be good. We should be good. Oh, that's great.
So also too, so we kind of went over like the craziest wedding that you've ever
Yeah,
hosted.
sure.
So kind of leaning on towards that. Have you guys had any type of celebrity weddings or celebrities
not-
contact you?
Not a ton. We've had some like football players and stuff come through. We do have a musical artist who just I want them to have their own privacy for their
Right.
wedding day, but we
Right.
do have someone coming up, so I think they'll share photos and everything. So once that happens,
That's
guys
awesome.
will be able to see who that is. But I think as this grows, it'll definitely start to be more of that kind of thing. But I also wonder, like if I know he's married, but if Dirk comes here, he's like, okay, this is just like
let's-
this is
Right.
my house. I
Yeah,
already live in
I'd
one
be like,
of them.
how much is? All right,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So I wonder if the celebrities are as impressed. I don't know. we'll see.
That's true. That's a good point. But I mean, Dirk
Hopefully
is a simple.
this is cooler than their mansion.
Dirk dresses pretty simple, or when I see him, so
maybe
I
he's
can't
not the best
imagine.
Mark Cuban would come in here and be like, "Oh, this looks like my
He'd be like,
backyard.
"That's it."
This looks like my guest house."
No, that's what I wondered though. Like before I knew who we got it from, I was like, all right, so which cowboy, which Maverick, like who had this?
That's what I was thinking. Was
But-
like I wasn't thinking a SIM card inventor. I was thinking like
This was
Mark
Jerry-
Cuban.
Jerry Jones
Jerry
at
Jones.
starter home.
Yeah,
Right.
this is guest house.
Yeah,
So
This is the guest house.
I'm scared to see where he lives.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're probably like, this is
But-
nothing.
And I'm sure if he ever sells it, you guys would purchase
Yeah,
it.
we'll,
and,
we'll
you
keep
know,
an eye on the real estate
Right,
listings.
right. You'd be like, oh, the Olana Part 2 or the Olana 2.0, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been with Walters, and what's your official position?
Yeah, I'm the sales manager, one of two. So two of us kind of do the sales side here just because it's one of the bigger ones. And I've been with the company since September of 2017. So like
Wow.
a little more than 2 years. It's cool too. The girl that I came over here with, like we both moved over here, both worked at the same venue before.
Oh,
So like
okay.
knew each other's working styles. So it was really easy to hit the ground running. And we've had a good response at this venue for sure.
Right.
But of course, I do a bit of everything. The most unique thing I've ever done at work. I always say this is like the coolest thing I've ever gotten paid to do. Well, the cows like got out once and like as I was leaving. And so we have a 4-wheeler and I like got on it and I was just like, okay, I've been to like a rodeo. So I'm just going to try that. And I
Welcome
literally
to
like,
Texas.
yeah, I got my Texas driver's license that day.
You put on a cowboy hat.
But I literally, just was like going off like
Guided him, like,
experience,
back
and
to
I
the-
got him back. Oh, there was like all 15 of them were running around.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
it wasn't one.
Wow.
Would they like destroy like the landscape or something? Or what?
Probably get in the pool and
eat the grass over time. I'm sure, like out
Right.
an hour they're fine. But we wanted to
They'll
get
start
them.
drinking
we
out the
wanted to get
fountain.
them put away.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Sounds
no,
like
that's
fun.
just weird things that was kind of before we were done with renovations. So we maybe the gate forgot to get closed or something. But
That's pretty
unique
funny.
day at the job.
Yeah.
for sure.
It sounds like a good day to me.
I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
What surprises can we like? What does Walters have planned for the future that you can at least sort of
Yeah.
any other venues that are going to pop up like this one?
I mean, we won't say no. Like I said,
Right.
I don't know that I'm probably like the fifth to last person or something that gets to know that. But they are always keeping their eyes out and like definitely want to keep growing and see what's
Yeah,
out there.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a good example that we can take like a cool building that
And make it your own.
Yeah, and Monroe Pearson, one of our other venues, is like that too. It was an old grocery store that we turned into a venue. I think
Right.
there's a lot of potential with just like all sorts of stuff. So
This place has like really generated a lot of buzz. Like,
yeah,
I know a lot of people were talking about it. It's
Right.
like,
it's cool because I'm like not I'm not an Instagram savvy kind of person
Right.
where like I would not be used to being the like talk of the town kind of thing.
Right,
if that makes
right,
sense. But like it's cool how much I see get like posted online about this place
Right.
and like
Right.
I think it's become a fixture and I'm proud of that and I know everyone who works here is proud of that.
absolutely. How many employees do y'all have here? Like
Well,
at this?
there's just 3 of us full time. Who I guess 4. There's so 2 salespeople, an operations person, and then a maintenance man, and we're here all the time. And
Wow.
then our corporate office is actually upstairs, so they're also always here. But they're not
Oh,
working on our
gotcha.
venue; they're working like
On
company
other
wide.
venues,
Right.
yeah.
So it takes maybe less of us to run this place than I think people would assume.
Yeah, I would imagine like I can't imagine living here and then having to clean up like
Yeah.
the whole house. Like,
my gosh.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
you
no, I'm
would
sure.
need like 20 maids, I feel like.
right.
No, we got 2 or 3 ladies to come in and clean it and do good job. Takes the most of a day, but
Yeah, I can imagine. This place is
What all type of events do you guys host? Do you say no to any event? Like if I just want to have my birthday party here, can I?
Come on in.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
No, we do birthdays pretty rarely. I mean, that's like, you gotta have a big birthday budget for that, but
Right.
a lot more like corporate stuff. I've done an art, I've like, worked with someone and they had an art auction, which is really cool. Just to kind of see it get used different ways.
Right.
It's mostly weddings, definitely. But
Majority.
it's always interesting to see, both with the weddings and other stuff, just like what people come up with to do here.
I'm gonna rent it just to have like a house party. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, this would be the coolest house party ever.
I'm surprised you haven't had anybody like want to shoot like a commercial here.
Oh, we have.
Oh, you
Oh,
have already.
have you shot any?
I don't know that. Well, so like we've had people reach out. I don't know that anyone has shot anything. There's some like shows out there. I want to say the name of it's Queen of the South. but I
Yes,
could be wrong.
that's in Dallas.
And it's like they shot a scene here, but it's like not here. Like they use the building,
Right.
but it's on the ocean. Like the whole
Visual
property is-
effects and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And
what
then they,
season?
I'm not sure. I want to
Probably
say
recent then,
season
right?
2. I think is what it was.
Oh, okay.
We all watched this a bunch when we first got here because we were like, "Oh, that's funny." They,
Yeah.
and they like walk in, but then the rooms are reorganized the way they shot it, so it's like
Right,
not
right.
actually how the venue flows at all.
Was it a
Movie
party
magic.
that they were having or something?
It
feel
was
like
like a hotel. Like they,
Oh, okay, they
said,
were at a
this is
hotel.
I mean, it looks
Yeah.
like a hotel when
It
you
could
walk
definitely
in.
could
like,
be a hotel.
Looks like the lobby of a hotel. You're like, oh.
But yeah, no, it was it's interesting to just see it, and it's been featured on like I don't know HGTV or stuff like that.
Wow.
More like when it was first built, but it's been on TV shows and stuff, so it'll just like pop up sometimes.
I feel like it should be in a music video,
Right.
Or
Yeah,
like
we should shoot a music video here.
And someone,
Right. Who can we get to sing for the?
Someone,
do you sing?
what's that?
Do you sing? Because we can make a whole music video.
I don't sing. I
Okay.
will not be singing today.
Jaime's got you.
I'll shoot your music video.
Okay, cool.
She'll do your choreography.
Do you guys know what like TikTok is?
Yeah.
So we had like some event, and one of the kids like did like a video of like this is my house tour.
Oh,
and,
how
like,
funny! That sounds like it probably was
MTV
my
Cribs.
kid. Most likely
it
was
like-
my kid.
And the comments were like, that's not your house. And then someone was like, that's the like Olana. It's a wedding venue. Like, and I was like, good job. But it's funny
let's
just
go
all
viral.
I think this just naturally people want to like show off that they're here.
Right.
Right.
Which I totally
I
get.
do it all the time. Every
Yeah.
time I pull
Yeah.
up, I'm like Instagramming that I'm here.
This is my second house, y'all.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
No, and
hey,
like-
I've been here like 6 or 7 times already.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm friends with some of the vendors, and I'm like, if they come, I always see like on their story. that-
Right.
But
That's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
I'm sure when they got my email, they're like, her again. Oh my God, this is like already the 5th or 6th time she's emailed.
So if somebody's interested in like booking an event or
Yeah.
anything like that, how do they get a hold of you guys? Or do they just go to your website?
Yeah,
or-
go to our website, check out photos. Our info at theolana.com is our email. And yeah, email or call us. A lot of people reach out through like the Knot and Wedding Wire and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I always think the Instagram is my favorite part. I just love seeing like what we post and then tag photos and tag location. Like,
Yeah.
and you get a wide sense of just like, what people are doing, how they're using the venue.
Right.
I think that's like the way to keep up with it for sure.
Yeah, and then you get the most like up to date information.
Yeah,
as
you can see
well,
something
yeah.
that was posted yesterday. So,
Or you could see the post that I made today as well. So,
Right.
yeah, did you guys? If I looked right now, would it be on your story?
It will.
Okay.
It will. Yeah, we're
Yeah, we're-
fangirl. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah. I'm fanboying over the Olana.
One thing I did want to know, because I know my wedding venue did it when I was getting married.
Yeah.
And this one wasn't available, guys. It wasn't a venue. Otherwise, it would have been here. But I know they told me, they're like, oh, you could take your bridals here.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do like a little engagement session here or whatever, feel free to. Are your bride and grooms allowed to do that?
Yep. We block off time and everything for
That's
them.
awesome.
So if you get married here,
And that's part of their, I guess, package.
yeah, it's part of the
Magic.
package.
Okay,
They can
great.
come, and if they want to use that for like engagement photos or like bridal portraits, and we still do it for like corporate events. So we've like had someone book a corporate event, and they're like, oh, I'm in charge of this. I'm gonna do some family photos. Haven't seen that at this venue, but like people get creative with that. But yeah, it's like obviously just looking around an amazing backdrop for photography. So the photographers are always wanting to be over here, which I totally
Absolutely.
get. You can get some
Yeah.
amazing stuff out here.
Yeah,
So.
that is very, very true. What about if they can't necessarily book, like let's say they're eloping off into another state or country, whatever, but they still want to do something pretty epic locally. This is the go-to place. So can they contact and maybe rent a space or some time to have a shoot here?
Yeah, we do. Like if like
Like
you're
a
asking
session.
about a commercial or something like that, that would work like that. Or like if people we do have a lot of people who are getting married elsewhere, like you said, doing the destination thing,
Right.
come out and do portraits, and yeah, we rent it absolutely
That's
for that.
awesome.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
As long as they're available. So
Right. As long as my music video isn't going on that day,
Right,
they
right.
should be good.
Yeah, no, we have to do those. We always do on the weekdays because we have the weddings always,
Right, on
kinda
the
going on the
weekends.
weekends, but.
Do y'all have any availability for the remainder of this year? Or are you booked solid?
I mean,
for the last 5 weeks of the
I
year.
know, right? For the last 5 weeks.
For 2020, we're pretty booked for Saturdays,
Mm-hmm.
but like Fridays and Sundays still have. And then, people are starting to look at 21. And so we definitely have Saturdays, like it opens right back up. So there's definitely dates out there. I think a lot of 2020s, a lot of people have started to plan that already. So
Yeah. Looking like you're only going to have Fridays and Sundays available.
I will say I still get emails, and just for everyone out there, 10/10/2020 is not available. I get about 6 emails a day about that one date that booked like 2 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, you get that good number, and it's on a Saturday. I totally get it, but I wonder. I keep wondering. I'm like, I'll probably get emails about that until like October 10th next year.
2020. Yeah.
But
Man, that's awesome, man.
Since you've worked here for a while and you said your past life you did like wedding coordination, so I'm assuming you've maybe not worked for, but worked with a lot of different venues.
so I actually only have ever done coordination here.
Oh, for Walters.
Yeah,
okay.
so I just did a
Okay.
different position with the company when I first started. And it's not, I won't, I think I did good with those weddings, but it's not like what gets me excited, I guess. I'm more of like a big picture kind of person with that.
Right.
But yeah, my background was in theater. That's what my degree's in. I still do it for fun on the side. And I did freelance theater directing. So I like directed plays and musicals.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
man, that's awesome.
And then I wasn't making any money, so I,
So you-
even though I was
you
working a
worked
lot, and
so you sold your soul.
sold my soul. No, I started managing theaters like on the business end.
Oh, okay,
and then I just
gotcha.
like transitioned over to weddings, which are like it's still a live event. It's very,
It is.
it's similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It can be very
definitely.
dramatic.
Yeah,
So-
very
Yeah.
dramatic.
I never thought
So.
I would be shooting weddings myself, and then it's like, oh man, like,
Yeah,
it's
here
you are.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
fun.
it's cool. I think the coolest part, also maybe what appeals to theater for me is just that like it happens, and for a very short amount of time. For theater, you have 6-7 shows. For wedding, it's one day. It's like
Right.
making a million things come together in one day. It's really
Unless
cool
it's an
to
Indian
like.
wedding. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sure. But in most cases, we see a lot of just a lot of work going into one day, and it's really cool to sit back at the end and watch that kind of unfold and be like, yeah, I had a hand in this, and yeah.
And hopefully they'll remember you 10 years from now when they're looking at their photos.
I hope they're like, that's Andrew. He was the best.
Andrew was amazing.
So,
And
yeah.
I have 2 more questions
Yeah.
for you, and then we'll let you go. But I am curious, who came up with the name Olana? Does it have a meaning?
I don't know who came up with it, and it does not have any special meaning as far as I know.
It just sounds cool.
It just sounds
No,
pretty awesome.
I know our marketing team like kind of just like throws a bunch of stuff at the wall with those, and just like waits, here's an idea, brainstorms until something sounds right.
Okay.
So-
Is the Olana, what does that mean anything? Like, what is that? I haven't even looked
don't
up the
know.
actual definition.
We
Is that even
should.
a word?
Yeah, no, as far as I know, it's just like kind of an estate name kind of thing.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
But like.
Like
Yeah, some of our venues like they use their daughters, someone in the company's daughter's name, but like it's a cute name and it works for this, and like they all have a different like name in a different way they came to be. So
And if you could, let's say you are going to almost pitch Walter's wedding to
Yeah.
someone, what are 3 things that come to mind that makes this place like special? Not just this venue, just the Walters Estates special, the experience with you guys? Like, what are 3 things that everybody should consider with you?
I think the main thing is that like we do bar catering and the venue, you get it all in one place, like really just can kind of like come in and like turn your brain off and enjoy your wedding. I think is a big thing. Like planner of course helps with that too, but just like there's a lot of variables we take out. There's a lot of stuff we provide as far as like tables and things.
Man, that's awesome.
So you can just like kind of slip in. And second thing is just like it's I always wanted to work for like a startup. Like I just thought that was really ideal and appealing to work for a company. And then in my head, that's always like Instagram or like a tech company. And I don't think people realize like that it's like a lot of different things. And this company functions more like that, where we're like how can we grow? And we do change a lot, and like it definitely causes us headaches. Like as employees, we're like, I gotta learn this whole new thing. But like I think the fact that we always do change and always are looking out for something new, we kind of work like that. And then like new stuff is happening all the time. You know, we show up and we're like, okay, we're gonna do a limo service, and we have a Rolls Royce now,
right?
Like stuff like that.
Awesome.
And that's fun to be around at work. So yeah,
Every day is different.
yeah, no. And the third thing is just like, I'll say like all the employees I work with are like really driven people, all really, really there for like the weddings, and like whatever happens, like I can just see in their eyes when they're working, like there's a passion for it. And like, you can see it in like the brides and like getting to know the people who work here, that there's just like, a lot of, I guess there's a good eye for hiring, and a lot of people who like will fight to make sure the wedding goes right.
They
for
actually care.
Yeah.
Employees that care. Those are the
Right.
best kind.
And you know, the more people come in and like, you know, they're like, oh, we got to do these measurements for our flowers. But I talk to them a little bit each time they come in. And by the time their wedding comes, I know them pretty well. And like, you know,
Man, that's awesome.
You get excited for them and excited to see their wedding happen. And so that's really cool.
You guys are literally making people's most important day special.
Yeah.
By bringing them in. They're part of the Walters family practically.
Yeah. Well, and today, like the cool thing, I had a tour, like people coming in and looking for their wedding. And then one of their family members was there, and she's like, do you guys own Wildwood? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I got married there. And they like had a really good experience. So it's like just cool to, I guess you can kind of piece together like, oh, you had this cool experience, and like they kind of have that in common. So
Right. That's pretty awesome. And if I had to add to that list of what you were talking about, the best things, I would say that it's unique and that there is something for every bride. Like the milestone, I feel like would be the perfect Southern wedding for somebody who's from the South and wants that type of look with a big Southern mansion. It's that one. And then this one for people who want to feel like they're not in Texas. This is where you would want to get married.
feels like a getaway.
Right. Like you're in France. You pull up and you're in France all of a sudden. It's amazing.
Yeah, no. And like, I know Monroe is probably my favorite. Monroe Pearson is probably my favorite venue besides this one. And it's like got this really like industrial feel. And it's like, you know, the hanging Edison lights and like all the exposed stuff, which is like what I like. And I just think it's cool that I can like, we can talk to me and my coworker can be like, oh, if I was getting married, I'd get married here. Like we've all obviously had that conversation.
Start making plans.
So
do you get a discount as an employee?
I think so. I
hope so.
I think so, but yeah, I haven't had to exercise that option yet. But
And our last question is, can this be our permanent place for the podcast?
you're gonna have to talk to them upstairs, but I certainly won't be mad at it.
And will you be our permanent co-star?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're adding a
Well, you
third
heard it
person,
here.
guys.
Yeah, you heard it here first. This is our home now, the Olana.
We live here.
This is my
Welcome,
room.
guys. Yeah,
Man, thank you so much for having us here.
yeah.
It's-
Thanks for
it's been
having me on
great.
here.
We
So I
really appreciate it. And we can't wait until we're actually working weddings with you guys and getting out here.
We've got a busy year, so like we'll see you guys a bunch, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, next time I see you, I'm
Absolutely.
gonna be like, Andrew. And if you don't remember me, I'm gonna be like, remember the podcast?
Remember
like,
the podcast we recorded 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Be like,
remember
I'm
that one
sorry.
podcast?
Who are you
I'm
guys?
sorry.
You're our third cast member. How do you not remember me?
But thank you guys so much.
All right.
Thank you.
We're good.